All right, all right, all right. Oh, sorry, guys. Didn't see you there. Welcome. Good morning to my start or stream bass holes, the Bass Masters. I love you guys. It is a great, beautiful, wonderful Sunday morning here on Start or Stream on the Player Profiler Network, brought to you by Fast Draft. Everything you could want all day, every single damn day. Dogs are walked. Peloton is done. Coffee in my system. AG1, not coffee, water in my system. AG1. Coffee will be here soon with a little guest appearance here. Guys, I'm excited. We have got a plethora of start sits to get to today. So why don't we just stop dicking around and get to them? Let's go. Donald was showing up at 6:48 in the morning. Donald couldn't sleep. He was tossing and turning. He had some start sits to get to, and he knew the only place he could come was Start or Stream. He wants to know, need a quarterback this week? Yeah, you do. Pick one off the wire. McCarthy, Mariota, Winston, Brissett, or Geno. God, that is a week. I've been waiting for these week 11 questions, guys. We were getting them in week 4. Now we're talking here. So let's run through the player profiler ranks as always. So we've got JJ McCarthy is our quarterback 23. Marcus Mariota is our quarterback 19. Sorry. Jameis Winston week, everybody. Is anyone else excited? It is Jameis time.
You know what? The only thing I am worried about is getting a boner.
Jameis is our quarterback 21. We've got Jacoby Brissett with no Marvin Harrison Jr. is actually pretty high up there. He's our quarterback 12 this week. And then Geno. What do we do with Mr. Quarterback 5 or quarterback 25? He's our quarterback 17 here. If you love life, you play Jameis, although the matchup's not great with none of his top weapons. Jacoby Brissett is projected 18.3 points. The implied Vegas point total, the highest of all these teams, is going to be Jacoby's at 23. Geno's at 23.5. Geno might be the play here. I don't love Mariota going over to Madrid. I've just tried to stay away from the international games, especially for quarterbacks who aren't Matthew Stafford here. So the player profiler recommendation is Jacoby Brissett as the stream of the week. If I'm not mistaken, I think Matt might have really been high on him as well. Let's see what my notes are on good old Jacobs. Do I even have notes on Jacobs? I thought I did. I made notes on every single player for you guys. Yeah, here we go. He has had the highest pressure rate of any quarterback faced since taking over, but now he gets the 49ers who cannot pressure anybody. Let's see here. He has been very aggressive. He has been great with all of his weapons, even with outside of Marvin Harrison Jr. So basically we have Jacoby Brissett at player profile this week, guys, ahead of Trevor Lawrence, ahead of Caleb Williams, ahead of Jared Goff, even ahead of Matthew Stafford. So maybe that's the official pick. But I'm playing Jameis. So let's tie that up on a bow right now. Let's get to him. The lovely Tootsie Pop is back. Yes. Diversifying our portfolio. I love to see it. Good morning. Is it crazy to start Stafford over Lamar? What would I do? What would I do? This is classic race baiting politics right here from Tootsie Pop, starting a white man over a black man. Unbelievable. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Lamar's got a brutal matchup against the Browns, but Lamar's capable of torching anybody. Lamar's our quarterback 8 on the week. Stafford's our quarterback 16. The implied point total for the Rams is 23.5, by far their lowest of the season. The implied point total for the Ravens is 24.8. 0.8. We got a 0.8er in there. How funny is that? I'm probably going with Lamar here. Tough matchups for both of them, so you assume that Lamar, playing at a high level, can get some scramble yardage in there. That's probably what I'm doing. It's not crazy, though. Stafford's basically playing at an MVP level. He's got healthy weapons. McVay, a lot of good stuff to like there. I take a shot and then see what your gut does. Black Bag wants to know, flex Harvey or Vidal? RJ Harvey gets the start this week with J.K. Dobbins out for the rest of the season. We have got Kamani Vidal is where's Vidal this week? Boy, I can't see it. I know the Harveys are RB 18 with 14.4 projected point total. He's got the 6th hardest matchup of the week going up against that KC front, which has been pretty tough. Not much better for Vidal. He's our RB 22 going up against the Jaguars, who are the 7th most difficult front. So in this one in particular, I'm probably taking Harvey. I think the Jaguars are going to get passed on like nobody's business by the Chargers. And so I don't know how much ground game is going to be effective. I know Vidal has kind of been wishy-washy, but I think Harvey, the only thing he's been missing has been the work, and he's going to get it this week against the Chiefs. So very similar tiered players here, but I'm going to take Harvey on that one. I just feel pretty good about the direction he's trending. Rye Guy wants to know Higgins, Pickens, Rome, Troy. Pick two. Pick two, touch blue, make it true here. We have got T. Higgins, wide receiver 12. Rome Adunze, wide receiver 23. Man, Rome is falling. Nice. See, nailed it. Somebody get me at ESPN. Troy Franklin is kind of coming up and down a little bit. He's not terribly high this week. Oh, wow. He's way down there. He's wide receiver 39. And then we've got, who was your last one there? Pickens. Ooh, we love some Pickens around here. Wide receiver 10. I'm taking Pickens and I'm taking T. Higgins, and I'm sleeping good. I'm sleeping real good. George wants to know. George, good to see you. Got the beautiful pup in the profile picture, bringing the good energy this morning. Play two, half PPR. Tyrone Tracy, AJ Brown, Rashad White, and Zay Flowers. Where George, you're sitting pretty. Those are some fun picks. I think AJ Brown is going to be my I haven't come up with a title for it yet, but he's going to be my Sunday dog of the week.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that.
AJ Brown is going to be eating the dogs, the pets, the cats in Detroit against Detroit for Detroit. I sat here at my desk on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was, maybe Tuesday. And man, I just had ESPN on in the background, which I normally don't like to do because I don't like to support fascism or socialism. But it was just on because we have it on in the living room a lot of times. And they just talked about AJ Brown from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. on every show, every segment, same clips. And when that happens, the guy usually comes out and has a pretty good game. I like AJ Brown's squeaky wheel game. I like him to feast this week. So let's get him in those lineups here. We have him at our wide receiver 19 with 14.1 projected points. He has the 11th easiest matchup. But the thing is, they have the third highest implied point total of the week at 25. So they think that this is going to be a shootout. They think that Philly's going to put up points with ease. And I think that'll be the case for Brown here as well. I feel like they're going to force him the ball a lot. So let's get Brown in your lineup there. And then let's look at the other guys. Zay Flowers are wide receiver 21 on the week. Tough matchup against Cleveland. And then let's get to the running backs where we've got Tyrone Tracy, RB21. That's Packers. That's a toughie as well for guys who can't really run the ball that well. And then you look at our last big boy here this week. That's going to be Rashad White, who has plummeted, unfortunately, down to RB26 against Buffalo. But I actually like him. Buffalo giving up the sixth most points to running backs. Only 21.8 implied points for the Bucs. But I think that with all the injuries to Buffalo and Buffalo kind of, they put a lot of energy into that KC game, and they got that loss to the Dolphins last week. I think was the absolute worst loss of the season. It was a let's get out of here loss.
Everybody, let's get out of here. This place is covered head to toe in shit.
All right, so we're going AJ Brown and Rashad White for you there, Georgia boy. Woohoo! Got that first like. Michael is in the house and he is winning, guys. Michael's got likes over all you all. Handsome, tall, wonderful credit score. Let's go. Musgrave or Muth. A little bit of a disappointing showing from Luke Musgrave. I picked him up in a lot of leagues as kind of a potential, can he give me 80% of Tucker Kraft? And he gave me 8% of Tucker Kraft. So he was getting on me. But the good news is the Packers got dominated. And when teams get dominated, I like for them to turn to something different, especially a smart, well-coached team like the Packers offense under LaFleur. So I like a little bit more Musgrave this week. The Giants have nobody standing in the back seven. I mean, the front seven hasn't even been playing that well. Let's see what I got about Luke. Why don't I just use the search function instead of being a joker? Yeah, he was the tight end play of the week on Player Profiler. He's best compared to a performance that Dawson Knox can give you without Dalton Kincaid, like a performance the lovely Mrs. Bass is giving me right here with the first coffee of the day. Thank you, my dear. Love you. Wanker. Wanker gets his coffee nice and early. All right, where were we? Packers expected to score heavily against the Giants. Multiple wide receiver injuries for the Packers as well. You might even be able to flex Musgrave. I don't want 1 second of the what's going on with the Steelers passing game. I know that Force tight end scored a touchdown the last time that they played. The Bengals, which, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad play if you need some love, but I just do not expect that to be the case again. Where's my Pat Fryermuth stat? Do I even have any? I don't see. That's how down bad Pat is right now. I don't even have any notes on the damn guy. And it's not his fault. I think Pat's an excellent tight end. I just hate the team he's on and the rotation that he has to share with. So just to give you the rankings there, because you're like, shut your hole. I want the math rankings from the big brains over here. We've got, they're neck and neck. Fryermuth, tight end 16, Musgrave, tight end 17. So I'm probably going to get a lot of Musgrave this week, guys. He's tight end 17, 8.2 projected points. He has the 12th hardest matchup, but they expect a lot of points in that game. So let's have some fun with that. The Pat Fryermuth has the easiest matchup of the week. The Bengals are giving up the most points to tight ends, but this isn't one tight end. Okay, you have to account for Jonnu Smith. You have to account for Darnell Washington. You have to account for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. These are all things that play into factor. Slashy, yes. 11 consecutive weeks of having Slashy on the show. Good morning, my good friend. Send me another terrible trade, please. Pollard or Manungai? Kyle, the fun guy. Really a disappointing return to earth last week after that beautiful breakout game. Let's get to the running backs here. We've got, you want Pollard or Manungai or Jameis or Brisket? Brissett is the play, but I'm playing Jameis. So I'm going against grain here. If Jameis is on the board, I have to play him. Not going to get a lot more of these going forward. Pretty soon he's going to retire. He's going to be a Sports Center broadcaster. Probably go work for Barstool or some bullshit. But yeah, it's just tricky here. But I'm going with Brissett is the play, but I'm playing Jameis. So take that for what you will. And then you're talking about running backs. Pollard, man, I was such a smug, arrogant prick when I drafted Pollard in all of my leagues that I could. Like, I've got an RB1 for the next 6 weeks. I got double birded by the Tennessee Titans there. He's RB40 on the week. And then you're talking about Kyle Manungai, who is, where are you, Kyle? Is Kyle even further down? I'm just not seeing him. No, he's RB36. So they're within the same tier. 8.6 for Manungai, 7.8 for Pollard. Manungai gets the 12th toughest matchup. Pollard gets the 8th hardest matchup. Pollard getting a tough matchup against that Texans front, which is no easy feat. Texans are cruising defensively right now. Yeah, that's just not a lot of fun. You guys can, of course, get all of these rankings without having to listen to the ramblings of a 35-year-old white guy from Florida who lives in Kentucky right now. If you just want to see the pure numbers, Player Profiler All-In Package, promo code Chuck will get you there. Get you player weekly rankings, seasonal rankings, DFS Dominator, Trade Analyzer, all the fun stuff. We've got you guys rocking and rolling. Ronaldo Rincon. God, that's a fun name. Name of the week so far for Ronaldo, if anybody wants to top it. We had, who do we have? Fantasy Condo and Nick Martini 2 weeks ago. Ronaldo Rincon dominate, or is it Rincon? I want to be culturally appropriate here. Why don't I answer your question? How about that? Jawan Jennings, Tet or Tez? JJ, Tet or Tez? Let's get to it here. Tet is wide receiver 30 on the week against the Falcons. Falcons giving up only the 6th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. So that's a tricky one. We've got Jawan, who gets his boy back. Jawan's wide receiver 29. He has a decent matchup against the the Cardinals, who are perfectly right in the middle as far as giving up points. And then you've got Tez, which Tez is just, I mean, Baker scramble drill. Tez back of the end zone, boom. But he's our wide receiver 36 on the week. The Bills have been okay against the wide receivers. They've given up the 14th most points, or 14th least amount of points. That's how you look at it. So the implied point totals tell us statistically that, oh man, they're only projected 19 points for the lowly Carolina Panthers. I have no bias in that whatsoever. They are expecting points in this Arizona 49ers game. So 25.5, in fact, for the Cardinals. So Brock Purdy, a return from what was not a very good injury. He was awful in his last start. So it's kind of like, how many eggs do we want to put in that basket? Cardinals are pretty riddled with injuries at linebacker and cornerback, so it could be backups there. A healthy Purdy would be if he is healthy and they finally say you get to go, you're talking about a top 10 play there at quarterback. So probably feeling like it could be a good Jawan week, especially with just how everyone else is sort of fading in this offense. So let's go Jawan in that one. Jay O'Connor wants to know Harvey or Swift, Pearsall or Wandale. It's Harvey might be my RB play of the week just because I'm feeling so damn good about him coming in. He finally gets the nod. Yeah, let's go with some Harvey.
Holy shit, I'm gonna come.
Then let's get to some Pearsall or Wandale. The old Pretty Ricky is finally making an appearance after, I believe, leading the league in yards per game while he was healthy. And now he took like a sabbatical to discover himself, maybe work on some pottery. 10.1 projected points. He is our wide receiver 42 on the week, which is below Xavier Worthy, which it's a conservative ranking. If he plays, I think he'll outperform that. If he's playing at a full snap count, full rotation, everything like that. Versus Wandale Robinson, as ChatGPT so appropriately spit back at me. He's our wide receiver 15 on the week, taking on the Packers, 14.9 projected points. Packers giving up a decent amount of points to the wide receiver position. Not a very high point total for New York, 18.5. If I'm not mistaken, that might be the lowest on the week for any team. So Vegas is not buying the Jamesons. So that's a tricky one. So if you think that's the case, here's the question. Do you want to be a part of the Kyle Shanahan, the Shanahanigans?
You're a liar. You're a liar. You know something that you're not telling us, you slimy scumbag liar. Liar! Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
We're playing Wandale here. Harvey and Wandale, JOC. All right, Matty Price wants to know, Woody Marks or Vidal? I had a guy tell me last night, Nick Chubb leads this team in carries, so he's the RB1. Fuck off. That guy sucks. Woody Marks is looking terrific. 80% snap share last week, which was by far his highest of the season. Let's see here. He had a very beautiful spike week, another one coming. He's dominating the Texans' backfield in touches overall. Very favorable matchup. Let's see here. Where is Woodrow Marks? Tennessee Titans giving up the 5th most points to opposing running backs. 13.9 projected full PPR points for good old Woody. Just everything you want to see if you've been stashing, flexing, rocking, rolling this guy. I say rocking and rolling a lot on the show. So I love that. Only 3 spots ahead of Vidal. So if you're talking about Vidal is going to dominate his backfield touches, so is Woody Marks. Much better matchup for Woody. And obviously he's got Davis Mills at quarterback. I mean, who doesn't want to get in on that hot sweetness? Let's see if I have any notes on Vidal here, just so I can give you guys the spiel on him as well. He's done pretty well. He's been consistent, high floor. Let's see here. Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, disastrous level RB or offensive line right now for the Chargers. So not that the Titans line is much better, but man, I just don't know how you're going to get the floor is lower with this team, and that's why they want to pass the ball more. That's why they're so high in neutral pass rate, and then all that jazz. So here we go. Here's the note. No opposing running back has topped 63 yards, very specific number, against the Jacksonville Jaguars this season. So let's get some Woody Marks in there. Maddie, Debo, Flowers, or A.J. Brown. I stay away from the international games. It pays off more often than not. So let's just give you the old Rankola here. Debo. Fat Debo with Fat Mariota. Where are you? He's our wide receiver 24 on the week with 11.3 projected points. The Miami Dolphins have only given up the 4th most points, or the 4th least amount of points to opposing wide receivers. So their defense is playing pretty good. They've been actually lights out in their last several matchups. So let's get A.J. Brown in there. A.J. Brown is our wide receiver Chuck Bass play of the week. So let's get him in your lineups. Ugly one, Spears or C-Rod? Spears is never ugly, my friend. Spears is never ugly. As a matter of fact, you put Spears on who's a fun team here to put Spears on? You put Spears on the Los Angeles Rams. I think he's a top 12 running back. I mean, he just looks so good with the ball in his hands. And you guys know I love balls in hands. So let's go with Spears in that one. It's going to have to play. They're going to be getting after the passer pretty aggressively in that matchup. So they're going to have to get the ball out quick. Dump offs, all that jazz, probably playing from behind. Let's get the implied point. Here's the funny part here. Where are you, Taj? Oh, 16.3 implied. That's actually the lowest of the week. I apologize to the people who put their faith in me when it came to this New York Giants ranking. 16.3 projected points for the Tennessee Titans. Tough matchup, 7.7 points. Chris Rodriguez is worse, though, 7.3 points. I don't want any part of this Washington Commanders backfield until we get some stability. And I don't think this is the matchup for them to get it against. Rodriguez keeps pulling the Tolbert where he scores and still has like 7 points where it's like, okay, thanks guy. I really appreciate you're a real benefit to have. Bradley. Yes. Finally, the champion of Player Profiler shows up here and is trying to crush. I tied with Bradley this year, guys, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. So it was like 225.5 to 225.5 in a league with no median scoring. So you just have to look at it in your record all season long. Bradley agrees with me. All Jameis, all the time. With Jameis Winston, there are no rules.
Ooh, I mean, what happened to the rules, Frank?
You can still have your rules.
It says right here, no rules.
Don't be so uptight.
Don't be so uptight, guys. Get Jameis in those lineups. And then you can hate me tomorrow. I'll take it. Justin wants to know Franklin or Michael Wilson. I'm playing a lot of Michael Wilson this week. Mainly because I'm in a tax bracket that affords me to do so. But if you're talking about pure rankings, we got him at wide receiver 27, 12.5 projected points. He's got the 12th best matchup of the week. Vegas really likes this. Vegas projects 23 points for the Cardinals and 25.5 points for the 49ers. So they think this is going to be a little deep ball action. It's hard to take away the metrics from Jacoby Brissett and this team last week because they were in garbage time with like 5 seconds into the game. So it's like you just throw that one out. Brutal matchup against the Seahawks, all that stuff. 49ers have a Gavin Newsom defense, and I like Michael Wilson against the Gavin Newsom defense. I really don't like this matchup for Troy Franklin, and I know he's going to catch a long touchdown in like the second quarter, and I'm going to feel like a doucher, but really like this one for Michael Wilson as well. Brutal injuries to the 49ers at every unit on defense. Let's see if I've got some advanced. Do I have any advanced notes on said player, Michael Wilson? Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. This is Matt Kelly, the Podfather's wide receiver play of the week. I knew it rang a bell. Loves his profile, loves his burst score, loves his agility. He calls him a poor man's Michael Thomas. They have the same build. He is the wide receiver 1 on this team with Marvin Harrison out. Obviously, he has to deal with Trey McBride, but Jacoby Brissett has shown that he can support 2 high-level weapons. Third-year player, third-round draft capital, productive when healthy. Massive target conservation in Arizona. That is correct. And he is a candidate for his first nuclear fantasy football game. These are direct quotes from the Podfather himself. Matt still absolutely reeling from the watershed podcast we had last week going into the fantasy receipts drama. Yes, I am fantasy receipts. So let's go here. Parker Wilson wants to know Dylan Sams. So just to let you know, Justin, Michael Wilson, I think, is the play there this week. Let's go here. Oh, you know what, guys? Before we get into this one, Dylan, quick recommendation to all the viewers out there. Stop saying you too when people say something. You're like, have a good day, you too. Or, I really enjoyed that. You, or something like that. They say something to you. Try saying you as well. You're going to feel like Don Draper. Have a great day. Oh, you as well. You're going to walk out there and you're going to want to smoke a cigarette. You're going to feel so damn good. You're going to feel better than people. You're going to feel like you've elevated into a new aspect. So you as well, say it to one person today, say it to 2 people tomorrow. By Tuesday, you will have upgraded your life. Stack that up over a year. I'm going to kick your butt. All right, let's get to the start sets. Dylan Sims wants to know morning PPR, Zay Flowers, Tet, RJ Harvey, or Woody Marks. Oh God. Why are you doing this to me? Like, why are you doing this to me?
Why are you fucking with me? Why are you fucking with me? Why are you fucking with me? Huh?
This is brutal because these are all great plays. I mean, other than Tet, I like Tet. I think he's going to be a terrific top 10 player, a top 10 wide receiver someday, but he's playing with the worst quarterback in the history of Western civilization. So I'm really trying to get out of those matchups if I can. They played the Falcons several weeks ago and they beat them 30-0. And I still believe Tet had a pretty mediocre game because it was all defense. So we've got Zay Flowers, Tet, RJ Harvey, and Woody Marks. How am I ranking these? Woody Marks, RJ Harvey. Let's go Tet just because he is going to get the targets, and then Zay Flowers. Although I do really like Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers was my halfway point riser at the wide receiver position. He is wide receiver 21. So actually, he technically is ranked well ahead of Tet, who's our wide receiver 31. So let me switch that little midair switchola. Woody, RJ, Zay, Tet last. T-Mac, sorry. I don't want to be culturally insensitive. Jimmy wants to know, who's the Lions tight end to add with Laporta on injury? Well, you're going to want to go to Nordstrom's. You're going to want to buy the heaviest coat they have, put it on your most maxed out credit card, and you're going to want to walk right into the ocean all the way face deep. You don't want any of these tight ends. Unless you're really desperate for somebody. You don't want any of these tight ends. Uh-oh. We're about to have a cameo, ladies and gentlemen. Come here, big guy. You guys want to see behind the scenes? Hi. Hey. Say hi. Hey, come on. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. What's that? Is that Greedy? Okay. Hey, be cool. Come on. You're the star of the show. You're in every episode. Come on. Why you get? You good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. All right. That's just how we roll around here. This is a family show. I like to get the family involved. If you guys are looking for tight end streamers, we like Greg Dulcich this week. That's a really fun one. We always love Dalton Schultz around here. Dawson Knox is another high one. Let's get the Greg. Do we have any Greg notes in here? Where is the Greg? I know you're. Here we go. Fringe tight end option, very productive as a rookie. He's one of the only wide receiver options left for the Dolphins outside of Waddle. Obviously, Malik Washington scored last week, but he hasn't really been a target guy. So if you guys are looking for tight ends, it's a pretty good week to stream. So I like a lot of those. So just avoid Brock Wright, avoid any and everything else going on there. I mean, if it's going to be one of those things where they'll score a touchdown, but they'll only have 6 points. We like upside. I forgot my theme of this week was going to be not in my backyard. So who's the tight end there? What tight end from the Lions are we going to play? None, not in my backyard. AJ Brown, 145 confirmed. Yes. Pardusky, Texas strong right here, baby. Good to see you. Good to have you. Do you trust Baker or should I drop Slayton for Tua? Do I trust Baker Mayfield? Yes, I trust Baker Mayfield. The guy's putting up points with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans sidelined, just like he did last year. He's got a smart offensive coordinator. He's got a good offensive line that's getting healthier. He's got dump off options. He's got a quality tight end, top 12 tight end right now, tight end 11 on the week. Cade Otton has the toughest matchup for sure. Bills have been very good against opposing tight ends, but Baker Mayfield called Josh Allen a goober this week and said he has small hands. So I feel pretty good about Baker this week. He's bringing the heat. What was your question, though? You actually had a question there. Should I drop Slayton for Tua? I would not do that. I think Slayton has flex value for the rest of the season with Dart and obviously with Jameis. So, and Tua is what is there to say about Tua? This is what they say about Tua. Whenever I watch Tua, this is what I think.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
One good game against the Bills is not enough for me. And just to give you he's our quarterback 18 on the week against Washington. Now Washington blows. Don't get me wrong here, but they're very bad against the run. So I expect a lot of Achane. Achane is our RB1 on the week. 22.7 points. He has the 9th easiest matchup. So we like the ground game for the Dolphins. We do not like the passing game. We like Waddle, like Jalen Waddle, but otherwise not too much. So don't drop Slayton for Tua is what I'm getting at there. All right, let's get here. We are halfway. Oh, you guys got a lot of starts hits. So I'm going to bang out 10 quickly here. Flex Keaton or Tyler Lockett, half PPR, Tyler Lockett. Love, Brissett, or Tua at the Superflex. Good, sir. Lincoln, good. I'm going to get the names in here as well. Ben, good to have you. Thank you. Lincoln, good to have you as well. We're going to go with Jordan Love here this week. Gorgeous matchup against the New York Football Giants, right? Channel some boomer in here. Where is Jordan Love in the rankings? Am I crazy? Oh my God, he's our quarterback. 22. Yeah, they just don't feel good. I'm taking Jordan Love though. Jose wants to know Eagles defense or Packers defense. Give me the Eagles. Eagles could have 30 points this week. Oh no, I apologize. Sorry. I'm thinking Packers could have 30 points this week. As excited as I am to play Jameis, I am to play the Packers defense. This Wife Rocks featuring Chuck Bass, brought to you by Jardians. Absolutely. A1Cs kept in check. Jardians cruising. If they could get these turtles out of the commercials, I'd feel a lot better about it though. Origami Harvest. Ooh, contender for name of the week. Is there an update on Drake London? Not that I'm aware of. I believe it came out that he did vote Republican in the primaries in the state of Georgia, which could be controversial, but otherwise I'm not sure if there's been an official update yet. Mando wants to know, start one running back, one flex. Woody Marks, Rashad White, Romadunze, Judy, Big Bootith, Judith, Quentin Johnson, our wide receiver 26 on the week. Jerry Judy, who I did start last week and was pretty smug about it, wide receiver 44 on the week. Tough matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. Probably not going to get a lot of consistency there. Let's go with Woody Marks and Roma Dunze. Flex one, Tet, Vidal, Troy Franklin, or Worthy. Just one, Vidal. Henry Odom wants to know. That's a strong, powerful name. Kind of name that I could just see like a family lineage. I can see your family lineage, and it's a lot of high caliber individuals. Vidal, Pearsall, Shakir. Let's go with Vidal again. Full PPR, especially catching those passes. Brittany Foxworth, rocking. She was here at 8:15, and I didn't get to her question until 8:34. I apologize. Pearsall, Washington, or Dubs. Let's go with Washington. Really like Washington this week. With everybody out, Parker Washington, he's only our wide receiver 37. The Los Angeles Chargers have given up the second least amount of points to opposing wide receivers, which is hard to believe. But I guess they have been pretty good. 20.5 projected points for the Jaguars. But I mean, I think they're going to play pretty well. Dubs has been pretty good. You probably are going to get a bounce back week from Dubs. But the thing is, where is he? Man, my eyes are just going on me right now. Am I going to need glasses? What the hell is wrong with me? Where is Romeo Dobbs? Dobbs is where's Romeo? Wow, I cannot find. There we go. He's our wide receiver 28, 12.7 projected points. The Giants have given up the 7th most points, and there is a pretty high point total there for the Packers at 26. So I don't love Pearsall just because I don't know the rotation. I don't know what Shanahan's going to do. I don't know how Purdy's going to play. So I would probably play Washington, but Player Profiler is recommending Romeo Dobbs. So that'll be my that'll be how I get out of that one. That way we get a claim victory somewhere. Jameis calling plays with Gruden is my new Christmas wish. That would be lovely. If we can get Gruden, to New York. Gruden and Jameis, just an absolute dream for the bloggers, whether you're a social justice blogger or a bro blogger. Drew Porter wants to know Woody Marks versus Tennessee or RJ Harvey versus KC. You guys continue to throw Woody Marks and RJ Harvey at me, and it hurts my feelings. RJ Harvey, RB18, Woody Marks, RB20. So I'm going to go. RJ Harvey was my RB play of the week, but I do think Woody Marks is a better play. So let's do this. Marks for floor, RJ Harvey for ceiling. That's how you get out of that one. I'm slippery this week. New Jerusalem wants to know. Full PPR, I need a flex. Gadsden, Sean Tucker, or Worthy. Let's go with Gadsden. Gadsden's been cruising. He got the clear 2 days before practice or before the game, which is what you want to see. No game time decision nonsense. West Coast traveling East Coast. We always like that a little bit. So, good morning, my guy. He shows up with a consistency every single week, and it keeps me going, keeps me cruising. Tucker, Washington, or Franklin. Let's go with. If you're talking about Trey Tucker, I love Trey Tucker this week. 12.2 projected points. Dallas giving up the second most points to the position, just behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. 23.5 projected points. So if that's the case, I love a little Trey Tucker this week for ceiling, Washington for floor, and Franklin somewhere in the middle. Craig wants to know, just Craig, nothing else. Just some guys are just Craig. Just Craig wants to know Roma Dunze or Woody Marks. Woody Marks, baby. JP Taylor wants to know thoughts on Jaleel. He showed before he could take on Javante's role, so he could assume Dobbins' role. I'm not convinced. I think he will have an involvement. I don't think that RJ Harvey just absorbs the J.K. Dobbins. You're correct in that assumption. He will not actually just absorb the J.K. Dobbins role because he's just not that. He doesn't have that ability as a runner. That's why they signed Dobbins. That's why they put this together. Let's see if I have any notes on Jaleel here because I thought I did because I like to be well-rounded here. Let's go to our notes on Harvey. That might be better. RJ. He will be so he'll get the lion's share of the carries and the dump offs. He's a strong play. He is a very athletic player and confirmed starter. But let's see here. The concern is that there will be Jaleel McLaughlin involvement, just like there was last year. So I do think you can pencil him in here, and he's always capable of breaking a long run. So if you are somebody that is a doubter of RJ, then I think he's a good stash because he could have 8 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. Most games, probably not this one against the Chiefs because the matchup's tough. But that's just the kind of player he is. That's why he's remained on the roster. He's pretty low in our rankings this week, but he is in the top 55, 4.7 points. So he's a stash, I guess you could say, if you're looking for deeper league flex plays, that kind of thing. We're getting into that part of the season as well. So guys are going to get hurt. I mean, if, God forbid, something were to happen to Harvey, Tyler Batty's role was baked in there, but that's just not the role that Jaleel was involved in last year. So I'm not too worried about all that. So good thought exercise there from JP. Mason said, rank ETN, Harvey, and Woody. Man, you guys just love tagged. You guys are just Eiffel Towering me with these RJ, Harvey, Woody Marks ones. I have to give Travis Etienne the respect he deserves, though. He's been playing very well this year. So in particular, this week, I like Woody Marks and then Etienne and then Harvey. So I really like Woody this week. I really like the matchup. Keep that going. Sutton or McMillan. Finally, we're getting a little Courtland, Sutland in here on the mix. Let's see here. Mason wants to know, so where's Sutton in our ranks? Is he low? Is he that low? No, I'm looking at running backs here. Courtland Sutton is our man. He cannot get out of the tier 3 range. He is our wide receiver 33 on the week. Tough matchup against the Chiefs. Chiefs have only given up the 5th least amount of points to the wide receiver position. Courtland Sutton, I think, has been relatively disappointing. He had a very, very father-son catch over Derek Stingley when they played, which was very fun to watch. But if you're just looking at Sutton, and the reason you're asking me this is because if you look at Sutton's last several games here, where is he? I swear I have him on one of these teams. I really don't like Tet McMillan if I can get away from him. So if you're looking at Sutton's last, 6 games, wide receiver 58, 30, 37, 18, and 84. I mean, he's just ice cold right now. So they need to get to the bye. So in full PPR, give me McMillan. If you're looking for ceiling, though, Sutton has 50-yard touchdown at any given moment. Bryce Young can't even throw at 50 yards. So that would be my recommendation there. Elevated Mind wants to know non-premium full PPR Kraft or Loveland. Does anyone want to take this one for me? Tucker Kraft is out for the season, so Loveland. Although you could play Kraft as a sign of dominance against your opponent if your team is that good. I've done that on occasion just because I like to flex on the host. Geis wants to know which quarterback in a 4-point touchdown league, -1 INT, Flacco, Mariota, Tua, or Brissett. Flacco obviously has a gorgeous matchup against a pitiful Steelers defense. Joe Flacco's our quarterback 6 on the week. That's pretty sweet. You're not going to get a lot more Flacco going forward. 40 projected passing attempts, which is the most of any quarterback this week. Let's get some Joe Flacco in our lives here. Definitely above all those guys. Mason again wants to know Kenneth Walker, C-Rod, or JCM. Kenneth Walker, JCM, C-Rod. Patrick wants to know 12-point character limit, guys. It's early. I had a barrel-aged Manhattan and a Boulevardier last night. While that's not a lot of volume, it does mean that the reading can get a little bit tough in the mornings, especially after I've worked out. So let me process this one real quick. Let me metabolize it. Trade Amari, Swift, Gadsden for Warren and Hampton. My other RBs are Kyron, Hendy, Moss. And yeah, so you're getting rid. Yeah, I would do that. You've got Warren, or you're getting Warren, who I like more than Gadsden. And then you're getting off of DeMarcado and Swift while you can to acquire Hampton, who I think could potentially be a playoff boom dynamite player when he gets back. So yeah, fine with that. Snooch. I need to add Snoochy Boochies to the to the video icon because that's just an iconic play here. Let me play something so I can put my shirt up.
Okay, I had that coming.
What the hell is wrong with you, you sick bastard?
Look.
All right. Not quite an absinthe in Vegas style outfit change, but outfit change nonetheless because it's getting a little cold in here. Joseph wants, good to have you, Ruckus, by the way. Joseph wants to know full PPR Are you expecting some of these guys to catch for a Philly special to catch passes? If that's the case, maybe Mariota because he's done it before. But give me Flacco. Ruckus wants to know start 2 PPR: Wandale, Trey Tucker, Judkins, Vidal. Where is Judkins this week? Judkins is our running back 23. He's got the 7th easiest matchup, 13.5 projected full PPR points. So in full PPR, give me Wandale and Judkins. But if you need ceiling, I would actually probably go Tucker and Vidal. So floor, Judkins, Wandale, ceiling, Tucker, Vidal. Nice. I knew the 49ers defense was sleeping with my wife, but I couldn't prove it until now. Why don't I have Dokes? Why don't I have the Sergeant Dokes meme for this? Shame on me. Elevated is back, and this time it's personal. He wants to know full PPR, 3rd flex spot, Mooney or Corum. I really like Corum. He's been getting a lot of steady usage. He just needs those touchdowns to feel pretty good about the play. He's our RB 39 on the week, which makes sense. And then you're looking at Mooney, who has been the most non-existent player in the history of North America. Is he low? Is he that low in our rankings this week? He probably should be. Mooney is our wide receiver 58 against Carolina. Carolina has been very good against the pass, 28th best, or 28th, 4th best, I should say. So let's go with Blake Corum there and hope he gets you too. Yeah, it is. And I think about all the time when he's trying to say, like, enjoy your meal, you too. Have a nice flight, you too. I think about that every time I say you too. So good shout out there. The recommendation elevated, by the way, was Corum. So tough matchup for Corum, sure, but I just like the consistency. Jacob wants to know, happy morning. Good morning. I'm losing my mind, guys. Woody Marks Day, standard, Jordan Addison, or T-Mac. Jordan Addison usage has been brutal with 9 McCarthy. He is he that far down as well? He's our wide receiver 32 on the week. Taking on the Bears. He does have a good matchup. The Bears have a ton of injuries to the secondary. Johnson is out as well. And they've given up the 5th most points to the position. So Addison could be a fun flex play this week, especially over T-Mac. Matt Price wants to know, man, I got to hustle here, guys. Henry or Mark? Judkins, Henry, Marks, pick 2. Give me Henry and give me Marks there. I think Henry has a redemption game against the Browns. Galaxy Pickers, that's a great name. Going up against Hendy this week. Marks or Harvey? Starters are Judkins, Marks, London. Marks or Harvey? Give me Marks there. Pardusky wants to know, Groot, treat of the week. He gets mint bones from Trader Joe's. That's a steady Betty for Groot. Mason said, Greg's thoughts on Dulcich. And I like Greg this week. I think he could easily have 4 for 40 and a touchdown. Very good matchup, international game. I try to stay away from the international games, but if you're talking about like just individual DFS plays, I like Greg this week. I think that's a very fine play. The S-Box wants to know full PPR for Chase Brown, Vidal, or Flowers. Great matchup for Chase Brown again. Chase Brown's really been coming on strong. RB6 on the week, 22 implied points for the Bengals, 17.9 full PPR points for Brown. That's big stuff right there. So if I'm picking 2, give me him and give me Vidal. The Pepperman Can, that's another great name. That's what I love about this show. You guys show up with great names and you have great questions. And you're all probably pretty good looking, I would imagine. I can tell just by the way you type. Sean Tucker or Chris Rodriguez, for my life. For your life, give me Tucker, baby. Tucker is our RB 27 on the week, just behind Rachaad White. The Buffalo Bills have given up the 6th most points to the position. And there's been some buzz around him. He was very efficient last week. And I think he can continue that success against the Buffalo Bills. Jay Blaze, how we feeling at half PPR? Parker Washington or Woody Marks? Give me Woody Marks, baby. Need a second Superflex QB today. Jacoby Brissett or Jameis? I'm going Jameis, but the big brains at Player Profiler would recommend Jacoby Brissett. Stephen McMahon said, need a tight end streamer, Jonnu, Big Bad Freiermuth, Colston Loveland, or Greg Dulcich. Now, here's the Colston Loveland spiel. Where are you? He only had a 58% snap share last week, or route share, I should say, which is really not enough to feel great about him. His usage has not quite been consistent. So what does that mean? Look at the other guys that this starts it. Has the usage been consistent with them? No. So take out the usage numbers, take out the consistency numbers. You're talking about one guy that has to compete, 3 guys that compete with each other versus one guy who has to compete pretty much with just Rome Odunze and DJ Moore, because Luther Burden has not been getting the target consolidation either. Pretty good matchup for Loveland as well against the Vikings, who are giving up the 9th most points. So let's go with Loveland there. It's tough too, because his mother, Rachel, follows me on Twitter, and it's hard not to recommend him when that's the case. Frank B. Schultz or Johnson for tight end this week? I love Theo Johnson. Tight end 5 on the week for Player Profiler, 10th best matchup. Schultz has a pretty good matchup too, but he is, if I'm not mistaken, he's pretty far down there. He's tight end 22 this week. So yeah, let's go with Theo for another big breakout game. Michael Wilson. Chris wants to know Michael Wilson, Christian Watson, or Tez in full PPR. In full PPR, Michael Wilson for sure. And then you want Theo, Schultz, or Mark Andrews. Theo again. Mark Andrews, tough matchup against the Browns. Tight end 15 on the week. So Michael Wilson, Theo Johnson. G. Santos wants to know Harvey or Ladd. Ooh, Ladd. Ladd is having a very nice second half of the season, so I'm probably going to have to go with him. Jaguars giving up the 10th most points to the position, 14.6 full PPR points. So I like RJ Harvey this week, but tough matchup, especially when you compare what Ladd has. So Michael says Loveland or Pitts. Loveland or Pitts. I actually have Kyle Pitts notes. Offensive line injuries and heavy 12 personnel with Kyle Pitts in line does not mean he really gets that wide receiver usage that we like. He is still athletic enough for spike weeks, but the usage has been inconsistent and very he does get targeted deep down the field, which is good for stretching those points out. He has the 7th best matchup against the Panthers, 23 points for the Falcons projected this week. So you're talking about Loveland at tight end 14, Kyle Pitts at tight end 10. Give me Loveland. Give me Kyle Pitts. I think it could be a Kyle Pitts touchdown week. Feel it in my loins. And that's not just because they're sore from all the Peloton I've been doing. My Peloton instructor is pregnant, which really makes me feel mixed emotions when I'm riding. I don't know what it is. I can't quite quantify the feeling that it's just a strange visual. Stephen McMahon, need a tight end streamer. Hawkinson, big bet. Oh, we already do this one? Yeah. Right? Yeah, we covered you. Deja vu like the Matrix here. Craig is a man's name. We don't have a lot of Craigs anymore. We're losing recipes. Start one, Vidal or Brown. AJ Brown week on the show, guys. It's AJ Brown week. AJ Brown is due for I think like a 40-yard touchdown. Put all this nonsense. It's just the Eagles are drama queens. Old man Joe or Baker. Ooh. Now we're getting into big nuts territory here. Baker is our quarterback 10 on the week. Joe's our quarterback 6. I like the way that Joe's slinging the ball here. I might go with Joe just because of the weapons. Very, very similar. He's down there, fuck it players, but Joe's got the weapons to do it right now, where Ibuka is really the only guy you trust to do that for Tampa Bay consistently. Stacks said, with the weather, would you go Brissett, Flacco, Purdy, or McCarthy? I think I would still go Flacco here. If Purdy is Purdy, I actually like Purdy the second most out of all these guys. I really don't enjoy watching J.J. McCarthy throw the football, although the matchup's pretty good. So let's still stay with Flacco, but Purdy could be a sneaky play there. Better stash, Booty or Jaden Reed? I've got Jaden Reed stashed everywhere because with the way no one else is stepping up on this team with Kraft out, Jaden Reed comes back, and if he can play, he could be a playoff bracket dominator. And, Diggs has established himself as the target earner in New England. I know that Mac Hollins had 10 targets last week, but that will never happen again, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. And guess what? When I wrote, I did the Stephon Diggs player profile in the offseason player profiler draft guide. And guess who said there's a wide receiver 2 with wide receiver 1 spike weeks? This guy did. So stash Jaden Reed. Are the Bears going to unleash Burden? It's been frustrating, but in my opinion, he's the best. Yeah, I agree with that. Unleash, I think, is going to be tough just because I feel like there's obligation to play more than they should. And the Amadeus, Zacchaeus stuff, I think he's going to get what we wanted to see from Burden this year was 3 or 4 targets, but those targets be like 70 yards and a touchdown. We're not quite getting that second part. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Another problem is that they're playing well and winning games. I know they didn't, or how'd they do last week? Did they win last week? Yeah, they played who? Sorry, I focus so much on the next week that I always forget them. Yeah, they came back and beat the Giants. So what I'm getting at with that though is that because they have they're potentially playoff bound, they're not being as creative as I would like them to be with the offense. You know, like I expected them to not make the playoffs this year and just be a tryout for all the positions and have some fun wrinkles. But now there's a little bit of expectation. They think they can do a little bit more. So you're not getting that. They're not trying as many things as I would like them to see. So I think he's a stash. I have him on a lot of teams. So if there's an injury or they think there's another gear the offense can get to, I think that he would be he would be the catalyst for that. Barrel Ridge Manhattan, new band name. Called it. Yes. Do it. Take it. Love it. True Bassmasters wager on the outro clip. Ooh, yeah. I've got an outro clip. I've got a lot of fun outro clips for you guys. And we're almost getting to the end of the start sits, which is nice. It means my pace is picked up. Those Kegels are working out. Sutton, Sean Tucker, or Michael Wilson. I'm going Michael Wilson there in full PPR. I went against Henderson. Yeah, so you need ceiling. So I think Michael Wilson is floor and ceiling compared to those two because the other two could be duds. Kansas or Atlanta. You don't see just Kansas straight up a lot. Like the Jayhawks. Atlanta. Atlanta's a very fun. Atlanta has 13 sacks in the last 2 games. I think they can get the Bryce Young today. That's a fun matchup. I know that. That's the thing about the Broncos offense is that they just don't really play the kind of turnover defense that you want from your defenses, or they don't play the kind of turnover worthy offensive plays. Nix doesn't take sacks and he doesn't really throw a lot of interceptions. So yeah, give me the Falcons there. Easy Eddie, I like that name, is a 2-point PPR for wide receiver and 1.5 for me. Okay, so you need a wide receiver in a flex from Ted, Addison, Christian Watson, and Harvey. So if you're getting 2 points PPR for wide receivers, you want probably Tet and Addison there. Watson, not really a high target earner. And then RJ Harvey, just based upon the scoring settings there, not going to be as valuable. So let's see here. What else we got? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you. I get up and do this show because I just love interacting with you guys. I love talking to you. I love the start sits. I love the non-start sit questions. If you guys have a question about life, love, religion, how to pick up chicks, cooking in the kitchen, lawn activities, renovating your garage, workouts, exercises, all that fun stuff, you guys would probably be shocked to discover how much I exercise. I'm a very frequent exerciser. I exercise probably 3 times a day, long walks, Pelotons, weightlifting, other stuff as well. So we don't always have to talk. We don't always have to talk start sits. TC reposting the stream because he's a legend. Matt Price wants to know Coke or Pepsi. Yes. See, I didn't even see that one. I just felt it coming in my loins. Pepsi for sure. It's always Pepsi. Pepsi is the premier soda. Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, and then maybe Coke if you want to get frisky with it, like a fountain Coke from a McDonald's or something. Otherwise, Coke is it's just not as tasty. It's way worse for you than Pepsi. And it just doesn't mix well if you're trying to get a little mixer action in there. So, and then you got to go Dunkin'. I'm a big donuts guy. And then I got to go Wendy's in comparison to Burger King's. Although I do like Burger King's. Don't get me wrong, but I just loved Wendy's. I loved Wendy's nuggets. I haven't had fast food in probably 8 to 10 years, though. Since I met my wife, she's got me on a health kick. So we do not eat a lot of fast food. So you don't find me at McDonald's. You don't find me at Wendy's. You don't find me at Burger King. You don't even find me at Chick-fil-A, which is very disheartening. But it is what it is. Chris M wants to know, I need 2 flex, Vidal, Marks, Debo, Samuel, Judkins, full PPR. Well, in full PPR, you still like Vidal and Marks because they catch passes. So give me those 2, especially with their matchups in comparison to the other ones. Judkins has a high floor, though. But he's got a tough matchup. So let's go Vidal. Marks there. I'm staying consistent. Yes, when you got your Peloton instructor pregnant, you switched to Pilates. Smart move. Greg McDonald wants to know, pick 2, Aaron Jones, Kamani Vidal, or RJ Harvey. Aaron Jones is killing me. I had so many eggs in the Jordan Mason basket, and that baby blew out like me after Wendy's. Aaron Jones, is he high up there in our ranks this week? Aaron Jones, RB25, 12th best matchup, very high point total for the Vikings, 25.8 in fact, which is very interesting. Do I have any notes on Aaron Jones? I got a hard stop at 9 o'clock because I've got church to get to, but I do want to get you guys some fun tidbits here. Come on, is that it? There we go. So we have this as a return to form week from Aaron Jones. So that 2024 version you got from him is probably what you're going to get this week, especially with the injuries to the Bears. His efficiency is returning despite limited practice sessions, and he is getting the high value red zone touches and work in the passing game. So let's say he probably is the best play this week. So I'll go Jones and Harvey and have Vidal right behind them for a floor play. Ertz or Freiermuth. Ertz Donut is our tight end 13 on the week. He has the third best matchup. And we have any notes on him? I need an intern, man, to handle like I need a Jamie. I need somebody because I just don't like having to pull crap up while I'm trying to talk to you guys here. Okay. He's a tight end, touchdown dependent, mid tight end 1 type. So yeah, you're not going to get a lot of volume, but he's a great red zone threat for them. So 22.3 projected points. Let's go with Ertz. Not a lot of target comp, all that jazz. And let's all right. Grand finale here, ladies and gentlemen. Musgrave or Loveland? I'm going with Musgrave. Rank these tight ends: Theo, Goddard, Otten, Schultz. Let's go with Theo, Otten, Goddard, Schultz. Ken Walker is a buy in Dynasty. I think he's by far a much better player than Zach Charbonnet. They're just using him very strangely. Gadsden or Schultz? Gadsden. Eat, Pray, Love, full PPR. Give me Pray, Love. Damn, this is tough. Pray, Love, Eat. Should I stay Zay Flowers over Rome? Bateman out? No, I still like Rome there. Please pick 2. Aaron Jones, Harvey, Warren, and Brown for sure. Did you check the weather in the Pittsburgh game? It's really windy. Potentially, yeah, but I think that's still going to favor them. Just, Flacco just getting the ball out quick. Doesn't even necessarily have to be deep down the field. So Crystal Pepsi or yep. Crystal Pepsi all the way. Fountain, Sprite from McDonald's. Can't hate on that. It does get the urban market. Nissan, Rob wants to know Brock Purdy, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, give me Brock Purdy for sure. Purdy or A-Rod? Purdy. Best part of Florida, visit St. Petersburg, Florida. Stay at the Don Cesar. You're going to love it. Ryan wants to know Worthy, Shaheed, or Higgins. Ooh, that's a tough one. Give me Worthy and Higgins. I just don't know what the Shaheed usage continues to be like. Get my girl roses, sunflowers, or sunflowers, or sushi. Flowers do something to the ladies, man. It is some combination of heartwarming and an aphrodisiac. Or you could just get her pregnant. Nice. Appreciate your work. Never miss an episode. Yeah, I appreciate you guys, JP, especially you brought some very interesting and thought-provoking questions to the show today that weren't just start sits. So continue to bring that heat. Maddie, we're going to get you out on there on that. Good to have you guys. Appreciate the effort. Here is going to be our goodbye clip of the day. This is going to be me at 1 o'clock. Love you guys. Good luck this week.
Julian! I don't know where I felt like I get a little drink.